Hello everyone and welcome back to CSCI3. Today we will do a PerlCodeAlong and I will put the little inset window up here in the upper corner rather than here where you can't see my code. And this is part of the JDE, just deep enough methodology to enable you to rapidly learn a new language. Okay, the first thing you do is you look at your basic sources. And what we have here is PerlCodeAlong.pl. It's commonly a Perl program file, but you do not want to run it as such. It's just snippets of various code. Okay, you always want to start with the official site. Take a quick look at it. Right there, where we can see it. You will see the Perl camel, which is very iconic, and that's part of Perl. Okay, that's the official site. Now the reference site, if you want to look up syntax and stuff like that, is right here. And that will be your official repository for how a command works. Now a lot of times you'll get something good on message popped up. You'll get something good on Stack Overflow or something that will let you say, well, what is this dash W or what does this dash S do? And this is how you look it up. Okay, if you need a step-by-step on some stuff, use a full Perl tutorial, and it talks about data structures, flow control, and all that good stuff. So, okay, done with that. I had to go off of the Perl site to get the history of it. Made by Larry Wall, and it is a message programming language. You kind of go through a slide deck, some of the philosophy and history behind it. Sometimes if you know that, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, here's philosophy. We haven't had too much of that with Bash because Bash is not a programming language as much as an operating system. But anyway, here we go, and you scroll all the way down, and if you want to know what a language is, you ask the person who invented it. It says it's supposed to be the first postmodern computer language. Go through, and basically one of the things he says there should be more than one way to do it. That's in contrast to Python, which said there should be one and only one obvious way to do it. Okay, we'll talk about IDE is an interactive development environment for Perl. These are all third party. There's no command line interpreter. You can't just run it one line at a time like you can in Bash or Python. Okay, you have two directives, and both of these are useful. You got strict and you got warnings. And what happens is, a lot of times with a scripting language, you can do anything you want, but you want to make sure that you won't do it. And Perl can be very, very free-form, and you don't check anything. If you know what you're doing, it's fine. But if you don't know what you're doing, you get some really, really puzzled. It's hard to figure out error messages, and it's good to have these two little bars. Now, I'll show you something real quick here. If you use strict -W, then you don't need warnings at all, because that's included in there. Now, if you got both of those, I know that you copied something off of Stack Overflow and you weren't watching what you're talking about. Okay, and you do have a thing called a try-catch statement, and basically you have try in print and brackets, and you have catch in brackets, and that's how you do your error catching. Okay, get to a very, very basic program. We'll start with a very basic one. We will declare a variable and we will print it out. You click on over here. Okay, I'm going to leave strict and warnings there because they help me a lot. And by the time you see this particular code again, you ought to be glad because that means you're about done with the program. But we'll start out with this. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm hitting Control S. You notice there was a dot here. And now it's an X, that means it saved it. Okay, and I'm going to go to run it. Let's see if it'll let me run it. Okay, it did not. It's complete. When I hit the tab, it should have already complete. Let's make sure I'm in the right directory. N./TE. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and complete it out just to show you what's happening. Okay, it did have it. All right, let's see. Oh, I had to go TES. Let's try that again. Okay. ./TES. Okay. All right, it says Barney. Now you notice that up here I have the slash in here. That gives you a new line. I didn't do that. We'll save it again. Okay, you know it says Barney, but it doesn't drop down. You have your dot prompt here. That's not the way. So I'm going to go back it down and put it back to start. Now, something else right quick. Instead of single quotations, I'll do double quotations. I'll do single quotations. And you can see down here, you can see that it says Barney /in. It takes it very literally. So when you have double quotes, it does some nice things that it doesn't do with single quotes, and we'll get to that in a bit. Okay, now you notice that you have to use my. My is where you declare something as a local variable. 99% of the time you're going to do that because you don't want to interfere with anything. You do the $sign, unlike bash. Bash would not have the $sign here, but it does have it. Okay, so we've done our very, very basic program. Let's ask for input. Okay, here it asks what it wants. STDN is standard input, which is the keyboard. Now here's where you do a string interpolation that is going to take whatever you type in for the name and it's going to put it right here where it says $$. It's just going to stick it in there. Okay, I'll save this. Okay, it says it's going to put in the name. I like Fred. Hello, Fred. Okay, so that works. Okay, Boolean. Okay, Boolean has some interesting things because Perl's kind of complicated. Perl also has the idea of truthiness, adjectives, and it has true and false, and all those work the way they normally do. But you also have the idea of truth and truthiness. Basically, if you have a variable that is not null, it can be treated as true. Okay, here I have $str. That's my naming convention that I've got a string variable. The $sign is a variable. It says this statement is false, and it gives me a nice little line feed at the end. Okay, then it's going to print it. Okay, what I have here is I don't have $str equal anything or not equal anything. I have it just as itself. So, what does it think about $str as a Boolean? It's actually a string, but what would it say? Well, this is beginning to sound like if you want to be a tree, what kind of tree? But anyway, I'm going to save and run. Okay, it says this statement is false, the last statement is true, and ignoring the philosophical implications of this. What happened? The reason he said that the last statement is true, the reason it read it as true, is because it's not null. Okay, let's just say, just for grins, I do this. Okay, click back. Okay, that's interesting. Ah, okay. Here's what happened. How about let's do an else here? No, let's not do that. Anyway, it did not print out anything. It didn't print a straight statement out here because there wasn't any statement to print out. Then it didn't print out the last statement is true. It's because it evaluated false. Now, if this is an else statement, I could say that the last statement was false. But anyway, it regarded it as false. Take out the semicolon here, put it there, don't forget your semicolons. Bracket. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay. Oh, it did exactly what I told it. Wow, Marlet. Let's just be emphatic about it. So now it considers this $STR as false because it's empty. Okay, well I'm going to put it back. Actually, I don't need to put it back because I'm not going to use it anyway. Okay, so you have, what we have here is you have equal versus equal versus EQ. And what is the meaning of amongst those? This is from PerlDoc. I went to the PerlDoc documentation to get this. Okay, I have this variable. I call it my $A because it's a local variable set equal to 1. Just to make sure, I'll do it again here. And let's run that and see what happens. Save it first. Welcome to the Perl if tutorial. This is okay, and what it says it's equal to 1. It says if is equal to 1, print this out. Okay. Show what happened if you use the wrong thing in the wrong place. Okay, instead of using a double equal, I'm going to use an equal. And what I'm claiming is that it is actually going to set it equal to 40 instead of checking for equality. And it's going to check it. Now, right here, we set it equal to 1, so it should be, this should turn out to be false. It turns out if you set it equal to it, it's true by definition because you just set it out to be that way. Let's see, I got my little dot here, so I got to hit Control S for save. Go. Okay, first of all, it said found, it gives you a warning. That's set warning zone. It says, do you really mean to do this? Look what it does. It changes it to 40, so it will treat it as 40. And that may be really, really confusing if you don't catch that. Okay, strings, here's your references. And go through those and look at those. I gave you some of the features of it. Okay, you have file input output. This is from Perl tutorial. And what I'm planning to do here is I plan to just print out this file itself. Okay, here's the file name. It should be right in here. Okay, here's your delimiter here. You're going to call it FH. You're going to show that this is what you surround it with. And it says or die. And basically, if that happens, if it doesn't find it, it doesn't. It gives you a warning message. That's always kind of nice. All right. I'm going to change those. Okay. Had to go ahead and save that while I was thinking about it. Okay. Clear the air here. Okay, multi-line bound. Add test PL number 8. Okay, I'm going to take a quick pause here and I'm going to find out what's going on here and we will be back. Okay, didn't intend to stop the video, but we will press on. And what happened, there was a extra single quotation mark. This was right here. I took it back and it should run now. Clear test. Okay, it looks like it doesn't do anything until you start scrolling up, and you can see that it's got the whole printed out, the whole file there. So that was how to loop through a text file and output to the screen. And that comes to the end of part one. We will pick up part two a little later. Thank you for listening.